Parents, guests, teachers, schoolmates, and fellow graduates. Grade school and high school alike, good evening. Welcome to the graduation ceremonies of batch 2013 to 2014, the moment we've all been waiting for.
We thought that junior year was going to be the hardest, and we figured that fourth year couldn't possibly be any more stressful. We were proven wrong. The formidable academic workload of senior year, combined with their heavy involvement in school events, made for a pretty heavy year.
Both acoustic night, Baghari, and Himig, Isa Dalawa Tugtog, were particularly challenging times. There was just so much to do, from setting schedules and facilitating auditions and rehearsals to making transportation arrangements. It must be said though that it all paid off.
We were commended by teachers, alumni, and fellow students alike for our work on both events, the effective organization, the smooth flow of the program, and the set designs. We outdid ourselves and we're proud of that fact. If anything, acoustic night and Himig are what we're going to be remembered for, though we're glad to be done with all the hassles they entail.
Then of course, there was the pressure of applying to different colleges, taking the tests and interviews, and anxiously waiting the results, which got to all of us. While preparing for our future schools, we had to balance this with concentrating on our current one. It is hard planning for an uncertain future when you still have to make it through the present to get there. There were responsibilities and requirements we had to fulfill, even as we planned and prepared for entry into college. A tough balance, yeah, but one we had managed nonetheless.
The question at the back of all our minds was, will we truly be ready for college? Perhaps the best way to begin answering this question is by sharing a quote from our classmate Sandro de los Angeles. In CL, we were not taught just to pass. We were taught to live and prosper.
Community of learners instills a love for learning. In this school, we have learning experiences every day of our lives. We don't just learn in classrooms, sitting in front of blackboards or textbooks. Our knowledge is not from simply knowing, but from living and experiencing. We appreciate the different experiences we were provided to help us fully grasp and learn concepts as students here in Community of Learners.
Unlike the boring seat works at traditional schools that some of our classmates have experienced from their former schools, here in CL we are made to study, analyze, explain, and present concepts and ideas in unique and meaningful ways. We engaged in many writing activities that allowed us to reflect and explain ideas and opinions. We often did extensive research for our projects and activities. We were challenged to apply what we have learned through projects, the process of which was as enriching as we learned to work as a group. We planned, shared knowledge, and listened to each other's ideas, divided work, assumed responsibilities, and collectively worked towards our goal, with each one trying to do his or her best. The process oftentimes required improvisation, resourcefulness, and creativity. Moreover, what we learned from lessons and work done was always made more meaningful and relevant as we applied and made connections to real-life situations.
From grade school to high school, we have gone on a number of field trips that have helped us learn more about the outside worlds, outside our homes and school. We went to different communities, markets, museums, art galleries, and historical landmarks. We learned about our country's history, not just through school activities, but also from museums and galleries and streets we went to. From the bustling streets of Chinatown in Binondo to the inside of a marketplace, we witnessed the diverse cultures of an ever-changing society. For many of us who are inclined towards the arts, we were inspired by our trips to Pasinaya and the art galleries in Angono, Rizal. Our recent field trips to Malipayan Farms in Tagaytay and Kabukid in Nueva Ecija were likewise unforgettable experiences for us. We gained a deeper appreciation of the agricultural sector and a clearer understanding of sustainable development. Not only did we learn about the advantages of organic farming and permaculture, our resource persons also shared with us the hardships that farmers are facing. We learned about the injustices they have to endure. Farmers barely profit from all their hard work. All the others involved in the distribution and marketing of the harvest benefit more than the farmers themselves who till the land. Farmers should be better paid and supported. Nevertheless, our exposure to both farms gives us hope. Permaculture and the wide array of programs dedicated to helping the community gives people a better fighting chance to not just survive, but to live happily and independently.
In our math classes, we weren't just required to memorize formulas or equations. We were challenged to figure out patterns and create our own equations. When facts had to be memorized, unique strategies for recalling were introduced, like the use of funny acronyms. We were also asked to manipulate concrete materials and assemble 3D shapes to challenge us to literally think outside the box. Now we have with us the capacity to stretch our minds and think in a special way when we see and solve problems. One of the best learning experiences we had in our math class was creating our own miniature models of houses like real architects and engineers. Talks by professionals were also arranged to inspire and help us delve deeper into the complexities of the work at hand.
Science classes also kept us engaged in the lessons, with teachers employing techniques that kept us fully focused and interested. We are thankful not to have been burdened with the task of simply memorizing tons of scientific names. Instead, we were asked to do experiments and projects that made us validate and apply scientific principles. The roller coasters we constructed, for instance, unleashed our imagination and challenged our craftsmanship, as we made sure the marbles would indeed roll through the pathways. A project that other students and children enjoyed playing with. We also went to science museums to further enrich our knowledge.
One thing that has been instilled in all of us is an understanding that each of us is unique, working, moving, and thinking in our own way and at our own pace. Here, we are acknowledged as individuals with different needs and skills. We are encouraged to cultivate, maximize, and find the best way to apply our talents and skills in our studies and daily lives. And we are given opportunities to challenge ourselves as well. Hence, we set the standard for ourselves, and by believing in our own abilities and our capacity to learn and adapt, we were able to overcome all the bumps and trials of each year in high school, especially this last senior year. CL has helped build that belief that we can and should raise the bar for ourselves, and that we are capable of achieving any goal we set.
Empathy, acceptance, and self-expression. All these are encompassed by the CL spirit. Because above all else, CL has taught us to love ourselves, each other, the world around us, the things we do, and the passions we pursue. This is how we, Batang CL, connect with one another. We learn to value people regardless of gender, skin color or race, and intelligence. We learn to achieve peace through understanding and respecting each other, despite our differences, and recognizing that not everyone is the same. We are free to express ourselves through whatever medium we choose, artistic or otherwise.
Our individual talents and skills are gifts that we must share with the world, and we must do so with love. CL encourages all these in us. Such a nurturing environment fills us with gratitude and inspires us to give back to the community, to share what we have been given in the hope that others might appreciate it as well. This is done through our High School Social Action Program, or HASAP, which are always heartwarming, eye-opening, and humbling experiences.
Throughout our high school years, we were given ample opportunities to reach out to others. The High School Social Action Program, HASAP, allows us to interact with children in poor communities and expose us to the stark realities of the less fortunate. We saw how desperate the situation can be when one has no means to build a roof over his head and finds no better option but to literally transform a cemetery into a home. And yet, as we took on the roles of ates and kuyas to the children of this community, playing and teaching with them beside and on tombs, we saw how happy they could be with so little. They were always so excited to see us and were eager to learn. Our interaction with these children teaches us humility and sensitivity. We treasure their smiles, we learn from them. It isn't just about helping out, but about character building and establishing human connections. It puts things in perspective and reminds us to be grateful for what we have.
Other outreach work we involved ourselves in this year include relief efforts aimed at helping the victims of Typhoon Yolanda. Many of us went to help out in voluntary repacking of relief goods at DSWD and Villamor Air Base. Everyone came eager and wanting to help in whatever way possible. Even the acoustic night, Bahaghari, was dedicated to the victims. This year, we collectively chose to donate funds raised to AGAP Foundation's recipient public schools in the Visayas region that were affected by Yolanda. Our class also chose the title to convey a message of hope. Being part of a community of learners makes us more keenly aware that we are as much a part of a larger community, our own country. And as Filipinos, we have the responsibility to extend ourselves, respond to the needs of others, and do our little share in trying to make a difference. If there is any help we can offer, we must.
Being students here has provided us with many opportunities to become leaders. Student committees are the fertile grounds upon which our capacity to lead and serve as role models were put to the test and challenged. For some of us, it meant having to let go of our fears, leaving our comfort zones and moving out of our shells. We learned to be active and to take part in our community. We learned to take action, to initiate, to take on more responsibilities, and to work with determination in order to achieve our goals and desires. We developed organizational skills as we took charge of different events. We learned how to be team players, to be open-minded to other people's suggestions and to new ideas. We learned how to deal with problems, to communicate, to help. We learned to treat others equally and with respect. Gio Gutierrez has said it aptly, and we quote, "We can all work together as a team and make tomorrow bigger and better than yesterday."
Many doors of opportunities for learning have been opened to us through which we have walked through. We learned that every day should be a devotion to our passion, whether it be in math, science, history, music or sports, carpentry and the culinary arts. Whether it be dancing or acting, sketching or painting. We learned to always nurture these to be able to use them further. See also our potential as students, enhance their talents, and made us shine. By encouraging the growth of our different intelligences, we found our value, our purpose. Honing the skills we have learned and using them to do good acts are the best way we know how to say thank you. We will always treasure our talents and skills. Thank you for guiding us and standing strong through the tough times. We now recognize our value, and you have helped us survive and grow.
The diversity of choices we were given in our enrichment or elective classes is something we truly appreciate. We had the band, percussion, ukulele, and music composition classes. We had the creative writing, debate, foreign language, photography, arts and media, and trigonometry classes. This wide range enabled us to make choices that suited our particular interests and skills. Investing in something we were truly interested in or wanted to explore and develop further made learning a happy and fulfilling experience for all of us. Elective classes also became a venue through which we could interact and learn with other high school students in a meaningful context. Some of them became our good friends. Our work was also shared and put to good use, not only for ourselves, but for the community as well, whenever possible. Photographers took pictures of school events, musicians performed or served as instrumentalists or coaches during programs. Artists took charge of set designs for school productions. Some of us chose an elective that we felt would have a significant bearing on our chosen college course. To all the elective teachers who took time to teach and hone our skills, thank you.
Being part of the different special teams in school, like the varsity, the dance team, and the choir, was to some of us who were members particularly a self-transforming experience. Most of us started out as shy individuals, but we are grateful and quite amazed at how we have turned out to be as we immersed ourselves in the rigorous training. We are now more confident, more skillful, and more capable of stepping up to challenges. We value the discipline that was required of us. For the basketball players, it meant waking up early in the morning to arrive on time for the bodybuilding and training exercises. For the dance team and choir, it meant attending practices regularly and following instructions. There are no shortcuts to achieving a goal. Hard work is the key, and that means practice, practice, and practice. Being part of the basketball team impressed upon us the value of sportsmanship and teamwork. Being part of the dance team taught us to connect with a partner, to lead and follow and move in sync with the group. Our training also improved our posture and helped us focus and concentrate in class. Being part of the choir enhanced not only our singing abilities, but sharpened our memory and listening skills as we learned to hit the notes precisely and sing in harmony with the other students. We have become better and more confident individuals who know what it means to strive for greatness. Thank you.
There is so much to be grateful for. Even the seemingly small lessons we were taught have had ripple effects in our lives and ended up creating significant impact. We learned good manners, we learned to think before speaking, we learned to prioritize and to manage our time. We've learned to come to terms with our weaknesses and flaws. Recognizing these made it clear to us what kind of help to ask for and when we needed it. We learned from our mistakes and never And whenever we did commit one, we were reminded that next time we should do better, since we now know better. Lessons we learned from our mistakes helped us to grow and become better, more mature persons.
We will also cherish memories of many school-wide activities. Family days are really fun as we play together with dads and moms, siblings and schoolmates, cheering and coaching the younger children. Programs during community days are equally memorable. Rendering our numbers before an audience and being part of the production staff gave us a sense of pride and joy at being able to share our talents with the community. We also happily anticipated the other numbers of friends and schoolmates.
We are on the threshold of entering college, yet another stepping stone before we get out into the real world. And with confidence, we can say that we are well equipped for the next stage of our lives. To answer the question we posed at the start of this speech, yes, we are ready, and we are on our way.
To the incoming high school students, know that there will always be challenges you will have to face when you enter high school. You need to learn to balance your time You need to learn to balance your time well as you deal with the multiple demands of academics, co-curricular activities, and your personal and social lives. You also need to become role models for the younger children in school. But more importantly, you will be tested not just as individuals, but as an entire class. Although it may seem intimidating, don't let your doubts and fears cloud your expectations. High school will undoubtedly be the best 5 years of your life. So make the most of your days while you're living them, and the best of luck to each of you.
To the ates and kuyas, thank you for taking care of and watching over us and making us laugh. Thank you for contributing to our school lives in undeniably important ways.
To our fellow batchmates, here's to us. We can't deny that the past 4 years have been a rough ride. Drama goes hand in hand with adolescence, and our relationships have been tested. We've fallen in and out of love and friendship, and we haven't always been good at keeping our emotions from affecting our schoolwork. But we got each other each time we stumbled, and we've given each other strength. There's so much we are going to miss. The jamming sessions with the new addition this year, the ukulele, bonding with Yaya Janet and enjoying her best ever brownies. The rappelling that made some of us nervous but triumphantly overcome our fear. Composing and recording songs for subject teams, preparing and performing plays and choral recitations, painting artworks and murals, and working on projects together, creating geometrical models, dancing during our dance classes, competing during Dance Olympiad, and dancing with the crowd during bonfires. Making sure we are clear the DMCs are assigned, quietly studying in the morning and teaching each other, cracking jokes or watching impromptu performances of friends, getting through the obstacle course together during camping, soaked to the bones but bonded so tightly, and sharing tears and laughter.
To our parents, thank you for sending us to a school that has loved, cared for, and guided us. We love you and thank you for your support, your hard work and dedication, all of these through which you have inspired us to do our best. You were our first teachers. At the end of the day, this is all for you. To our teachers, you are our second parents, our life coaches and friends. Thank you for your kindness and patience, and for never giving up on us or leaving us behind. We love you and we will always be grateful to you.
And the community of learners as a whole that has given us her love so freely. Thank you for teaching us not only how to build bridges, but to cross them. Thank you for teaching us to recognize our own worth, to express ourselves, forgive our faults, and embrace our individuality. Thank you for allowing and enabling us to be true to ourselves. In the words of our batchmate, Belle Garcia, we are not perfect, but each and every one of us believes that we are worth something. And that is the most important lesson that CL has taught us. To love ourselves, to accept ourselves, and to believe in ourselves.
Thank you for being the second home we know we can always come back to. Most of us have spent our entire lives here. And while we're excited about adjusting to college life, we know we can return, and we will. We will never have the proper words to express how grateful we are to be part of this family. No school will ever replace this one in our hearts.
We are proud of the people we are today because of CL, and nothing will ever take that away from us.
We are battling CL
and always will be. To our fellow graduates, good luck out there, and to everyone, thank you and good afternoon.